Steven was lying. Sorry for using the same pun twice.
Time to cut the cheese. Shing! Sorry for using the same pun twice.
That's not a pun.
Hey guys, Vox here, and welcome to my review of KIKI's Pizza Delivery Service. And let me just say, this show is something special. You know a show is good when even an episode that's not heavily plot-oriented keeps you fully enraptured and entertained and laughing and smiling and relating to it. This episode, I bet, was a huge relatable to a lot of people who feel obligated to their friends and family. And we got a lot of development within these, like this and last night's episode for Kiki, a character who was previously pretty silent, and we really only got the spotlight from her sister, Jenny. And it just has a really fucking good moral. You're not obligated to do anything for anybody, and it's understandable that you don't want to let anybody down, but you can't let that get the better of you because it will consume you. Just like how Kiki was having these constant nightmares, and it was tied back to constant stress.
Does she even know this is happening to you?
No!
And that is what's horrifying, and it's pretty real. That hit close to home. But even besides that, even besides the really good moral that the show delivered once again, the animation, the trippy sequences, Steven's Dream Warrior sequences, his powers he used in the dream, the rocket boots, the rocket arms.
Rockets for fun! It's time to cut. Prepare yourself.
Dogcopter, it was all great. It was all hilarious. It was all cool. This episode had a lot of cool expressions, and the Evangelion references at the end with the pizza in the water. Oh my god. This show is something else, and I love it to death. I love this episode. I love this show. It was absolutely perfect. Now, one thing that kind of confused me is, so while Steven's sleeping, if he's in someone else's dream, that's still exhausting him. I want to roll with that, but I also really don't get it. Like, his body is still resting, so even if his mind is tired, he shouldn't physically still be tired. But I don't know how that works. I'm sure the writers of the show could explain it way better than I ever could. Maybe the conclusion you can get from this is that since his mind is constantly running, even though his body isn't awake, his mind is constantly awake, so that's what's exhausting him. So he's not really asleep, he's kind of just depressingly comatose, which is scary. And where is all this going to come into play? Because it seems like it may not come to play in Monster Reunion from what we've seen. But from the new Lars to this episode, to Chilited, to Super Watermelon Island, what is Steven's mind powers, his mind control powers, his body possession, what is this all leading up to? I feel like we're going to see this soon at the end of the season. Maybe something with Bismuth next week, or maybe something with the Diamonds after next week, I assume, which is going to happen when we next see the Diamonds. But I really want to know why they keep establishing this power specifically. I feel like the Healing Spit or the Shield did not get this much focus as this set of powers did, and are continuing to get. So it must be for something huge. Overall, I give this episode an A+. It was my favorite since Mr. Greg. It was absolutely hilarious. The art and animation was top notch. The art was just gorgeous. The animation was as fluid as ever. And we got character development on Kiki. My only complaint about Kiki is also with Jenny. It's that the voice actress, she doesn't really seem to have a difference in tone for the characters. When I hear Kiki, I hear Jenny. She doesn't really try to do different tones with them, although I guess Jenny is more sassy and Kiki's more nice. But I feel like you could establish that in their tone than just their actions. But that's just me. That's just my opinion. What do you think of this episode? Comment your thoughts down below. And tomorrow is Monster Reunion, the return of Centipedal, and then after that is Alone at Sea, which is the return of Jasper. Friday, we have Greg the Babysitter, another flashback episode, and that opening song, oh my god, so far it sounds amazing. But let me avoid getting to spoiler talk. Next week, it seems like we're just going to be full of plot. Next week is the 22-minute business special. The schedules for week 3 and week 4 in total came out for us for the summer of Steven. I may make a video on that. I'll let you guys know. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Vox, signing out.